Just like in business, where government decides to allocate capital is extremely important for an economy. Overseas investment. In order to have the most robust economic growth, actions and funding must be concentrated. The more spread out, the less effect they will have. And that has been certainly visible when you see what's been going on in certain countries versus others. I have noted this throughout time, reading about history. You will see, as we'll talk about it more in a second, countries can spread themselves too thin and ultimately diluting the overall effect. There are countless economic issues that need to be dealt with, but in order to fix them, money and resources are needed. This goes for any economy whatsoever. Look around the world, look historically, it's always the same thing. Of course, you're going to have issues that arise that surprise you, and it's just like a business. Things come up you didn't expect to happen. Happens in people's personal lives too, and so you deal with those. But it's one after the other, and they never seem to actually go back and fix the root cause. And of course, the people down the road have to pay for it. If a country puts too much focus outside of its own territory, it will reduce its ability to mitigate risk and growth will not be optimal. This is what happened in ancient Rome, and it's the same thing today. Ancient Rome, you had them actually outsourcing their production of grains to North Africa, and once that was taken over, that presented a big problem for Rome. The same kind of thing happens today. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to do everything possible in your own country. Sometimes it makes sense to have strategic partners elsewhere. But when you have billions and billions of dollars going overseas, that money could have probably been used in your own country, had a better effect in your own country. There's no doubt about it. Winners and losers are chosen, which is morally wrong. Who is deciding who gets the money? Which organizations? How much? When? And why? If the government is deciding this, they have lobbyists in there, which are essentially salespeople giving bribes to decide, no, we want $2 billion to go over there, not to you, not to your friends, not to your family. This is the way it happens time and time again, and it is truly unfortunate to see it. Every transaction must be approved by the public. That's the way it should be. Everything must be transparent. The decisions must be understood. Special interests and lobbyists must not be able to influence where tax dollars go. If you were putting your tax dollars somewhere, you should have a say in what happens, not necessarily believing that the person in charge is going to take care of you, because that's not the way it works. There are so many moving parts that you're not going to be able to take control of it all and steer the ship this way. It doesn't work like that. So the public should be aware, or at least have a website, have a means of actually finding out not only where all the money went, but why. Why was that decision actually made? This would be a huge factor. But today, everything goes on in secret behind the scenes, and the public is left in the dark. Make sure you're checking out the playlist to see all of the different ways to fix the economy.